There is one of the industry studies that I really like and find particularly interesting, and that is the airline study.
Hmm.
And let me explain why. First, the airline study, to kind of cut to the chase here, it's 13 years of data, and the airlines that lead in customer experience are outperforming those that lag by 134 basis points. Okay, so pretty wide margin. But here's what I really love about the airline study. First, the industry is really interesting because it's a business that many would argue is highly commoditized. You're basically shopping for price, and there's very little differentiation that's possible. So people might look at that industry and say, how could customer experience possibly matter? Um, it is a business that is very monopolistic. The top four airline carriers account for 2/3 of the market,
Hmm.
and they've got a lock on a lot of gates within airports. So if an airline consistently disappoints you as a flyer, it can be hard to not fly that airline, right? Because you might not have any other choice, which again adds ammunition to this idea. How can customer experience matter? Because
Yes.
flyers don't really have choice, and they can't really just boycott airlines. The last thing that I think is really interesting is that most all of the airlines are public companies. If you think about the cross industry study and the XM Institute ratings, there are a lot of companies in there that are private, and those immediately get thrown out of our analysis, right? Because they don't have a shareholder return. And so the airline study is very pure in the sense that every player, pretty much every player, every major player certainly, is a public company. And their focus is on one thing only, and that's air travel. And so the purity of that study I really like, and the idea that there are so many forces, competitive forces in that industry that would lead you to believe, to say, customer experience can't make a difference here. Highly commoditized, not going to work. And yet, if you look at the data, the difference is pretty significant. Also worth noting, the laggards in the latest airline study actually have an overall negative return, which, as far as I can remember, I think that is the first time in any study that we've done, cross industry or industry specific, where the overall return for the years covered was negative.